Let's talk about nuclear weapons. These are not your average weapons. We're talking about devices with the potential to reshape the world as we know it. The world-ending bombs that keep world leaders up at night. The sheer destructive power concentrated in these weapons is enough to give anyone pause. The main thing stopping every country from building their own, preventing a free-for-all in nuclear armament, is the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, or NPT. This treaty is a cornerstone of global security. After World War II, the US dropped atomic bombs, demonstrating their devastating power to the world, sparking a terrifying arms race. Nations scrambled to develop and stockpile these weapons. Soon, the Soviet Union, not wanting to be left behind, UK, France, and China joined the nuclear club, escalating global tensions. Fearing global disaster, the potential for complete annihilation loomed large. Nations created the NPT hoping to avert catastrophe, to freeze the number of nuclear-armed states, limiting the spread of these dangerous weapons, and offer peaceful nuclear tech to others, promoting the use of nuclear energy for constructive purposes. If they promised not to build bombs, a bargain was struck, technology for peace. The treaty was signed in 1968, marking a pivotal moment in arms control history. At the height of the Cold War, when tensions between superpowers were at their peak, and came into force in 1970, solidifying its place in international law. A rare moment of global agreement, showcasing the power of diplomacy in the face of existential threats, to keep nuclear weapons in check. It was a collective effort to prevent nuclear annihilation. It was a landmark in diplomacy, a testament to the power of negotiation and compromise. A global admission that we'd created a monster, a force capable of unimaginable destruction, and now had to keep it caged. The NPT became the bars of that cage, a framework for managing this dangerous technology. So what's in the NPT? It's built on 3 pillars. First, non-proliferation. Countries without nukes promise not to get them. Those with nukes promise not to share. Second, disarmament. The nuclear states pledge to negotiate toward getting rid of their arsenals, eventually. Third, peaceful use of nuclear energy. All signatories can develop nuclear tech for energy or medicine, but under strict international oversight. These pillars are interconnected. No disarmament, no trust, no peaceful tech, no buy-in from developing nations. The NPT is a delicate balance, managing the world's most dangerous technology. For over 50 years, it's been the backbone of global nuclear security. But how do we know countries are sticking to the deal? The NPT, or the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, essentially created 2 distinct groups of nations. 5 official nuclear weapon states recognized as such due to their development and testing of nuclear weapons before 1968. The US, a nation that played a pivotal role in the Manhattan Project during World War II, UK, a close ally of the United States with a long history of nuclear research and development, France, which developed its nuclear arsenal independently, seeking strategic autonomy, China, which joined the nuclear club later, citing security concerns, and Russia, initially the Soviet Union, inheriting a vast nuclear legacy, and everyone else, the vast majority of nations who agreed not to build nukes, committing to peaceful uses of nuclear technology instead. The treaty is popular. 191 countries have signed, demonstrating a widespread global consensus on nuclear non-proliferation, making it the world's most widely adopted arms control agreement, a testament to its perceived importance in maintaining global security. South Africa is unique. It built nukes, then dismantled them, a decision driven by political changes and a commitment to disarmament, and joined as a non-nuclear state, setting a powerful example for other nations. But some countries never signed: India, Pakistan, and Israel. They wanted nuclear options, perceiving them as essential for their national security in volatile regions, and now have their own arsenals outside the NPT, further complicating the global nuclear landscape. North Korea joined, then quit in 2003, citing its own security concerns and perceived threats from other nations, and has since tested nuclear weapons, defying international norms and resolutions, becoming the treaty's biggest challenge, raising serious questions about its effectiveness and future. These outliers highlight the treaty's limits, and the ongoing risks associated with nuclear proliferation and the potential for nuclear conflict. Most of the world is adhering to the treaty's principles and working towards a world free of nuclear weapons, but a handful of nuclear holdouts keep the threat alive, underscoring the need for continued diplomatic efforts and arms control measures. The NPT's strength is in numbers, reflecting a broad international consensus against nuclear proliferation, but its weakness is in exceptions, those nations that remain outside the treaty framework and continue to pursue nuclear weapons programs. How do we make sure countries keep their nuclear promises? Enter the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency. The IAEA is the world's nuclear watchdog, inspecting facilities and verifying that nuclear material isn't being diverted for weapons. Non-nuclear states must let IAEA inspectors monitor their nuclear sites, install cameras, and take samples. The IAEA's credibility is crucial. When it confirms compliance, trust grows. When it finds violations, the world takes notice. It can't force entry, but it reports violations to the UN Security Council, which can impose sanctions. The system isn't perfect, but without the IAEA, the NPT would be just a paper promise. Its inspections are the backbone of global nuclear trust. So, after all these years, is the NPT actually working as intended? Has it truly delivered on its promises? Yes, but with significant caveats that need to be addressed. It's not a simple yes or no answer. The treaty has been remarkably successful in stopping what could have been a nightmare scenario: dozens of nuclear-armed states across the globe. Without it, the world would be a far more dangerous place. Today, despite initial fears, only 9 countries possess nuclear weapons. This is a testament to the NPT's influence. However, many non-nuclear states perceive a troubling double standard at play. They willingly gave up the option of developing nuclear weapons, while the nuclear states continue to modernize their arsenals instead of actively pursuing disarmament as promised. This growing frustration and sense of unfairness seriously threatens the long-term credibility and viability of the treaty. If disarmament negotiations remain stalled and promises are broken, why should other nations continue to abide by their commitments under the NPT? The current climate of rising global tensions and geopolitical instability makes meaningful progress on disarmament even more challenging. Consequently, the risk of new nuclear states emerging increases significantly if trust in the NPT framework continues to erode. Still, despite its imperfections and challenges, the NPT remains the only universally supported global commitment to achieving a world free of nuclear weapons. It provides the essential framework for ongoing dialogue, verification through inspections, and cooperative efforts to prevent proliferation. In this increasingly turbulent and uncertain era, the rules and principles enshrined in the NPT are more vital than ever for maintaining global security. The big question that looms over us: can we find a way to fix, update, and strengthen the NPT to meet the challenges of the 21st century, or are we simply delaying the inevitable, just waiting for this crucial treaty to finally crack under the immense pressure? Stay tuned for analysis on the ongoing Israel and Iran war.